Hey, I'm liking the dark background, and so I decided to make another video, and I have two questions for this video. First one is about people who have slit eyes. Yes, guess who I was thinking about? Miley Cyrus. No, I was thinking about her recent picture thing. So, slit eyes like this, do you think it affects vision? I say no, however, I have another reasoning behind that, and the second question is about people who are tan and people who are fair. What do you think about the beauty differences, if I can say, or about like the cultural effect it then has? Yeah, so let's talk about the slit eyes thing. I was thinking that, hey, still people find big eyes more attractive. I don't know why, but in the animal world, the whites of the eyes are signals for fear. So whenever you go up to an animal and you're like, hi, and they see all the ring of white and they're like, oh no, he's like, scared or like whatever. But I guess they've learned to go around that. However, I was thinking about when people have slit eyes like this. When the pupil dilates, doesn't the eyelids not block part of the pupil and hence the amount of light that goes in? I mean, if your pupil then adapts to that, then doesn't it mean that your pupil would then always be small and you would be limiting your full vision capabilities? I mean, besides this, I was also thinking the other time about whether or not people perceive colors properly, so maybe the blue you see is not the same blue as I see. I know there are people who are colorblind and like they don't see reds and greens, or they can't tell them apart, things like that. Yeah, I would just complicated, and I guess there's no other way to see unless maybe you do an eye transplant, but then people who do retina transplants don't seem to have any problems. Is there, I don't know, a color preference over people? I know for some animals they have color preferences, but that might be because of the way their vision is skewed to certain spectrums. Okay, yeah, so enough on eyes. Next on the cultural tan thing, because for me, when I was young, my mom was like, oh, you should be like fair and looks pretty, but I guess it's also because I was a pretty fair baby, and now I'm tan. I'm not as tan as before. I feel pretty white and fair right now because of the sun over here, and I've tried sitting out in the weekends in the sunlight to try and retain a certain amount of darkness in my skin. However, that's fading pretty quickly. I'm considering not doing that and just seeing exactly how tan I can be, but how untan I can be. However, I know that the amount of sun I get is still going to affect me, and I'm still going to be like slightly tan. But, I think the moment I actually really got tan was when I was about like 4 and I refused to get out of the pool. My mom was like, oh no, come out, there's nothing, you're going to get, skin's gonna get darkened by the sun, which was true, it did. And then after that, she was like, oh, whatever, she got the tan, and I just let her play along in the pool. Then after that, I was just oh, okay, I'm nice and tan, it means I'm sporty, I go out. But there was a whole thing about preferring white skin because it meant that you could stay at home and not do farm work and whatever, olden times thingamajig. And then now there's that whole thing about being bronze, but that's associated with the sports thing. So which actually is the good or bad? I mean, obviously oh, my pen just dropped. Obviously there are the good and bads of being tan and being fair, aesthetically pleasing. There's some actress who's porcelain skin and then jet black hair, and she looks like a porcelain doll. And there's a certain aesthetic beauty about that, but also looks kind of sickly. And then there's also, if you want to go for the goth or emo thing, you're you want to have the expression of the dark and light. And then, obviously, if you want to be tan, then there's the whole sporty and healthy thing, healthy glow. Oh man, I just remembered the other time I took a picture with me and my friend, and he's white and he's really fair. So, because of my inherent tan from before, it was not really a black and white comparison, but a lot like that. So I went and added a tan, and then he looked more healthy in the photo and stuff. But yeah, there goes all my rambling about the tan thing. So the two questions again as a recap. One is, what do you feel about the slit eye thing? Can people actually see from there? What's your theory about that? I think they can, but do you think it limits their vision? That's the main question. And then second question is about tan or not tan, or tan or white. is how do you feel about that, and about the cultural about that. Okay, so I am done talking for tonight, and I should get enough sleep and finish sweeping the floor and stuff. Yeah, so catch you later. Bye.